ran across something that I want to share with you guys. It really touched my heart. I mean, really, really did. Okay? It has a lot to do with what we're doing. It has a lot to do with what you guys are experiencing, whether it's on the field or wherever you guys go. You seniors, where you go from here. Okay? And it's really, really special. It's the best thing I've ever heard in my life about explaining, knowing about life, knowing about what it all means. Okay? You know, City Slickers?
Yep.
The one thing. I got a feeling this person right here understands the one thing. And I want to share it with you guys because this is what we need to be about when we play these games. Win, lose, or draw, we play these games with this in mind. Okay? It's called counting to 5. I won't lie to you, I'm a little nervous reading this. It's so powerful. Really am. You guys ever done something like that? Read something so powerful you get nervous about reading it? Because I'm afraid I won't do it justice. All right, counting to 5. I could count to 5 earlier than most kids. It was more than just the number of fingers on your hands or your toes, on your feet, or years old you were. For me, 5 meant the scent of rubbing alcohol and sitting on the bathroom floor for a long period of time waiting for my mom to gather the courage to stick herself with a needle. That I wasn't really sure what it was for, but she said things would go very wrong without it, and I believed her. And when she finally had the courage, she would tell me to count to 5, and I would sit right next to her until the last sound of 5 rung out. And we would do this every Thursday. And every Thursday, she would tell me what a big help I was and praise me, and I was so proud that I could count to 5 for her because the 5 meant something. It was like that final push before the finish line when you're running to a closing door and reach it just in time to swing it open again. And even if you were a tad bit late, you could have crushed your fingers. Or when your father holds the back of your bike and tells you he'll count to 5 before he lets go, and before you know it, 5 is up. And you're by yourself, floating a while before you fall. Or maybe you don't fall at all. Or when you're watching someone in a hospital bed getting shocked by a defibrillator and the medic counts to 5 before saying clear, before he makes that push to save the life that's slipping away. That 5 is the last second between him and the rest of his life in front of him. And maybe the medic is counting to give himself the courage to literally shock someone's life. And maybe your dad counts to 5, not for the sake of warning you, but before preparing himself to let go. And I counted to 5. But sometimes you don't get to count to 5. There is no warning when the car slams into a tree, or when your best friend walks into your life, or when the love of your life walks out of it, or when the sudden realization of how lucky and privileged you are hits you. That's it. It hits you. Life doesn't count for you, and life does not count on you. When you take that first step into college, and when you finally get the job of your dreams, and when you finally find someone who really truly understands you inside and out, there will be no counting. So when you go out into the world, stop counting. Stop waiting for something to happen, because before you know it, that 5 is up, and you're sitting on the edge of your life wondering why you didn't do anything at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. When you go out into the world, there will be no 5s. There will be no time handed to you to gain that courage to make your life truly incredible for the moment you step onto the surface of reality. There came a time, many years later, where I was not asked to count to 5 on the bathroom floor any longer. So I ask that you not wait for a 5. I ask that you jump before the counting even begins. That's powerful. It's the same thing we're doing here. This obviously is much deeper of a life experience than what we're doing. because this young lady had to count to 5 for her mother to stick herself with a pin so she could stay healthy. Okay? And has to do it every day of her life. Every Thursday, maybe even, I don't know how many days now. But that's courage, and that's what we're about. Okay? So I'm telling you guys, understand this meaning in relationship to yourself and to your own life. And on this baseball field, we're not waiting to count. You got to jump out there and go get it. You know who wrote this? A 15-year-old girl. It's one of the best things I've ever heard. And it's Coach Sheridan's daughter wrote this. Hit home? Okay? That's what we're here for. Okay? Don't wait. Don't count. This game ain't waiting for you either. All right. Hey, Coach Sheridan's daughter. Unbelievable.